So, Dee, welcome back.
Thank you.
Uh, Last session, we did our first session
Hmm.
together and we worked lower legs and around the knee.
Correct.
How did you feel after the session?
I felt pretty good. After driving home and getting out of the car, I was like, "Ooh, I'm a little stiff," and then I walked a little bit and it was fine. So I think it was just shaking out the bugs. But other than that, it was fine. I've had a little less pain this week from it, and definitely haven't feeling anything when I run with it, so that's good. So
Okay.
yeah.
Was there something that you were feeling before when you run that you noticed that now
Just
you're
sometimes
not
it's a
feeling?
little dull, like when I would first wake up, and then you'd have to you'd run a little bit, and your legs would kind of warm up. But now, when I'm waking up, I'm not feeling it as stiff like
Okay.
I was feeling prior to it. So it
Okay.
still hurts sometimes when I sit, like if I'm low sitting with my legs like this, or if I'm sitting with my legs crossed and I try to get up, then it still hurts a little bit. But it's definitely less than when I first came.
Okay. And where are you noticing, like, when you
It's
are
just
sitting low?
like here,
Okay. Around the
like
inner
around the
and
kneecap. Yep. Hmm.
okay. Okay. Anything else that you noticed over the past week after
Mm,
your session?
um, no, I mean I felt pretty good. It did seem to loosen things up a little, and my shins felt pretty good. Normally they can be a little tender to the touch.
Okay. Are they no longer tender
No
or do you?
longer. I don't feel it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That sounds like some progress then.
Hmm.
So that's good. Do you have any questions about today
No.
or anything that I know last time we were talking about kind of the shoulder
Right.
issue as well. How has that been feeling? I know we didn't get
Um.
time to touch into
Yeah.
that
My
last
shoulder,
time.
my arms bother me. Been kind of busy at work, so my elbow is bothering me a little bit this week. So
Okay. All right. So I have two options today.
okay.
So we can continue kind of from the knees
Hmm.
and work our way up and do some really detailed work from the knees and focus up.
Okay.
Um, Option number two would be we prioritize that shoulder, see if we can get the elbow a little bit more space so that
Okay.
when you're working, there's not as much tension. And
Okay.
option number three is we say a quick hello to your knees just to keep that going and then maybe explore the elbow.
I don't. What do you think is most beneficial?
You tell me, you're in your body. What do you
Um,
feel
I mean, they
if we
both feel
could?
kind of about the same. They none, not one's more than the other. My leg is a little less, but I still feel like sometimes when I get up from I kind of have to I wobble a little like a little old lady.
Okay.
So I don't know if that would benefit from that, maybe from a little bit more. But my arm is definitely stiff too. So
If we could help one thing today, what would it be?
let's do my arm. Let's
Her
do
arm?
that.
Okay. And it's the right arm predominantly?
Correct.
Okay, great. Arms up. Good. And then take your arms down. Good. One more time. Up and down. Head right.
Right. Sorry.
Head left. Head center. Head up and head down. Okay. All right, back to center. I'm going to rinse and repeat. So turn around and face this wall.
Mm.
And we'll go ahead and go up and down. Center. Head right. Head left. Center. Head. Arms up. Arms down. Good. And one small knee bend for good measure.
Ooh, crack.
Okay. And did you get a chance to do that homework we talked about of the, like,
Yeah, I did.
how has that been
It's
doing?
fine. Yeah, I
Okay.
did lunges at the gym and stuff, and I didn't really have any issues. So
Okay, great. All right. Anything noteworthy that anybody sees? Lots of rotation this way, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And right around in this area is where you feel it the most, or is it somewhere else?
A little lower, like under
Okay.
the elbow. Yeah.
Okay. So these attachment points here. Yeah, this feels fun in here too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is maybe we try to make more space around here
Okay.
and work our way up, or do you feel like we need to start up and work our way down?
This doesn't really bother me too much. It's really down in here, and it's
All
probably
right.
this part of it that's causing that, I'm
Right.
sure.
So the last time we worked on separating the interosseous membrane on the lower leg, and from feeling in here and how much opportunity there is, maybe we do the same thing just for the arm.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. So I want to really do some detail from her wrist up. I'm going to start right here at the meaty source just to kind of prioritize that trouble spot, especially, if she wasn't hearing everything I was saying that comes up from my head, is I want to make sure we acknowledge the area that it feels the most important. And then I can go into detailed work. So I'm going to start with a palm, spread, sink down, stay less or more.
More is fine.
Okay. And as I'm here, I'm trying to rotate the tissue inward and up to get a bit more space around here. And we can already see as I'm doing here, that connective tissue is maybe needing a little bit more space. So start to press your palm down towards the table. Spread your fingers wide. Pads of the fingers, knuckles all pressing into the table. How's that feel?
Good.
All right. And I'm just going to hang out here. I'm going to try to stay Velcroed onto the same spot and just wait to see if I get a little bit more traction. I can place my other hand right over her wrist, just very lightly. And this I see is rotating out. I'm not going to force it, but I'm going to add maybe about a pound of pressure and a slight rotation. Again, how's that feel?
Good.
All right. So go ahead and start evaluating with D to see what she needs on the other side.
Yeah, less or more.
Stays fine.
Are there any modifications on either side on the top portion? What about on the bottom portion?
No.
Awesome. All right, nice deep breathing. Good. And as you breathe out, see if there's a bit more space around your shoulders and your neck to release and relax. See if you can maybe direct on the hand so that we get a bit more length all the way through her fingertips. So use your words.
No. So I think she's already kind of doing the same thing that she's doing on that side where she's pushing in with her fingers, the knuckles and the palm.
Yeah, I'm noticing right in the middle, maybe a little bit more. And if it doesn't feel like there's any more space there to do that, D, ignore everything that I'm saying.
Okay.
Otherwise, spread your fingers a little bit further and press them down towards the table. Good. And I've lighted up a bit, which is fine. I'm going to go right into that crease. I'll pull up. And I'm going to start here. I can feel like this is turning in. So I'm going to try to turn that out. I'm going to do that simply by going here, pressing gripping tissues, rotating out. And now I have this lovely opportunity to keep going here. I'm going to palm down on the forearm. I'm going to grip inferiorly towards her hand, and then I'm going to slight rotation in towards her hip. How does that feel? Stay less or more?
Stay's fine.
Okay.
Stay less more.
Stay.
How does that feel for your body?
Feels good. I'm in a pretty deep lunge, but that's
Good.
okay.
Awesome. All right. Slight rotation in, more aggressive press up
Stay less
and
more.
out here.
Stay.
How does that feel? Stay less or more? Okay. And then we hurry it up and wait, hurry it up and wait. How does that feel on the other side? Stay less or more? Okay. And after a while, I just slightly moved up. So we worked, he worked, stayed here for a while, and then I like going up to this group here. You have good arms. Okay. And then there's a bit more here. I'm exaggerating it. I could stay here if I wanted to, but I'm going to go to the medial part. Because most people have some tension in here. A little lot. Yep. And here for him, it's a little bit rotated out, but I'm doing most of this to exaggerate it. So I'm going to rotate in, pin,
I'm a very tense person.
up, and then rotate
I'm
out.
not like personality.
So cross,
just my body's always like,
cross
Got it.
friction.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Oh, there we are. Pin. Stay less, more.
more.
I'm going to sink in. Stay less, more.
More.
I'm going to lift up. Okay. And same thing as always. Pin, Velcroed, slightly up. And I got more pointed to get right in the middle here. And I'm trying to get right above the bones of the wrist, right into that little dip. And then I'm going to stay and hold. And here I'm very subtly, and especially if I'm this slow, hand under, help her press that down, but then you can rest onto the table without making it weird.
We're all in here with you.
And then you slowly come up and go to the next spot. And we could spend 30, 45 minutes, an hour just making our way up. We release pressure every so often as we feel that, oh, that's a nice sink too. So that her arm doesn't go numb too. Give her a little break and then we go. But this typically would take at least 30 minutes, but we're going to move a little faster for time's sake. Okay. I'm going to have you try the first one, which was the more broad palm, Velcro up, and then the other hand on top of the wrist, rotating in. This is rotating out.
Stay less more.
That's fine. Stay.
I would start a little less pointed, maybe just line up. Some people, depending on the level, and now you can start to, grip it, traction it up a bit. Good. And you could stay there, but practice the more pointed. And traction a little bit more up as you do that. Yeah. And right there, you can have me press my hand down. And spreading the fingers wide, I think, is something great to just have people practice, because there's not a lot of movements that we do that encourage separating in between the fingers, opening up that palm. Especially if we're gripping scissors and clippers and puppies all day. There's a lot of closing, there's not a lot of opening. So we want to also teach our clients to do the opposite for recovery than what they do in their daily life. They're always closing, they want to open. If they're always opening, I want to try to figure out what career they have because I can't think of a lot of. So here, we would want to less lighting because I do have hairy arms. Um, and we also want to stay kind of targeted and pinpointed.
So we're sliding too far down.
Yeah, so we want to kind of Velcro, and then when you feel that tissue give a little bit more space, then we'll subtly either glide up a little bit and go to the next spot or lift up,
And
especially,
reset.
yeah, and reset.
Okay.
'Cause the,
It's pulling a little.
yeah, it's just getting very detailed and giving that space, that hurry up and wait space for the tissues to unwind and receive it.
Okay.
There's a press.
Stay less or more.
More.
You need to work on that arm.
Oh, less or more.
Okay.
How does that feel?
Good.
Take a deep breath in and a big breath out. All right, awesome. Start to make your way further up.
Like very slowly.
Open. Then a little traction here. 2 fingers. Find the little dip. Huh?
I remember that training.
Oh yeah, also trainings.
Yeah.
We've had our work.
Okay. And we can separate, open the book. I'm pressing up, out, and then just slightly. And I'm barely touching here. These are really sensitive areas, lots of little bones, yada yada. If you feel a lot of crunchiness, you could, if they already have a chiropractor, tell them to ask their chiropractor about
crunchy.
a wrist adjustment. Not all of them do
Might
it,
annoy.
but sometimes the ones that do it, it can be magical and it can help because these tend to get kind of jammed. If you have your personal one, take them to yoga with you, and when you're doing too many chaturangas, have them adjust you throughout class. But we can get a little traction. It might open a bit. They can move their hand like she is now. We can feel something shifting and moving, but we're not doing anything but just tiny, tiny little bit of traction to the connective tissue. Good.
That feels so good to open
Yeah.
your hand.
And then try some rotation here as you do that. So here we're going to be a bit more pointed. And
Oh.
yeah, we're kind of in that little groove here. I'm going to press slightly up, slightly out. And I'm going to go in this little dip here. And I'm going to hold. I can open the book. I can add a little bit more traction. And very, very light. We want to be very careful and be mindful that we're staying within scope. And you can feel here. So Lucas is a good one to feel. You can feel where the indent is. Very good. And then he can move his wrist. We can just encourage a little bit of traction. Move a little slower. It's also hard to keep a hold as you move. Good. Starting to feel that more through this area here. Okay. So here, you can go right behind here. Find that little groove here. Stay less or more.
More.
Stay less or more. Let your arm relax. Yeah.
One
Leg
more.
back down. I want to find it on her, and then I will. There we go. Stay less more.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm right on the end of the elbow, finding the groove.
The inner edge.
Yeah. So right above here. And you want to move really careful because, of course, there's nerves and things back there. But you'll feel that edge that starts to connect to the back of the elbow. We're going to go next to it, hook, and move out. Right.
Was I in the same spot?
You were close.
Yeah. Feel that there. So we're not going on the tendon itself. We're going next to it, and almost like we're moving it off of the bone a little bit, giving it a little bit more space. Yeah. And slightly up and out. Out.
So confused. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're doing this hook,
Yeah. Hook.
slightly up, and slightly.
Towards.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Kind of
Right. Let's try to practice.
as normally going through here.
Mm-hmm.
Most of this is pretty loose. But whenever I get like here,
So, and you can add a little bit more, and then you can drive the car, right? So I'm going to pin and hold this side, and just slightly here and here. And then I switch to the other side, right? But I want to hold and think about kind of imagining where his perfect alignment would be, right? That's not here. It's not here. Maybe about there. Give a little bit wider of a wrist. How does this feel? Stay less, more, or move? But just a little bit more traction. If you feel like one side needs more than the other, I could traction a little bit more on the other side. I can use my thumb here to kind of pin and think about taking those tissues up. This is pulling slightly down and out. But my main focus is on the back of her arm.
Yeah, I can feel it my pinky on this one.
Is that okay?
Any numbing or
No, I just feel it.
any shooting, stabbing, sharpiness?
It's not stabbing. Feels like there's blood going.
Good.
The first time.
Yeah. And just aggressively pinching her tissues and trying to get them away from the bone. And gently tractioning her arm. And this can be really tiresome with the thumb. So it's something you can decide if you want to focus only on the bottom or if you want to add the thumb. Depends on the client, their size. I could focus here. I could even pin. I'm resting my forearm, doing the pull down, doing the pull up, and the bottom hand is out, slight rotation, up, and diagonally superior towards her head. Stay less or more.
Okay.
So purposely leaning into her. is I like to pin the bottom of the arm. And when I think about kind of creating some separation from the top and lower arm. Yeah. Hey, friend. I see you in there. I'm just going to pull that out. I'm going to work on pulling her shoulder down. It's not today's main focus, but we see there's maybe a bit of opportunity up here for more space around her chest and her shoulder girdle. All right. Good. And if I wanted to, I can be really fancy here, right? We're keeping that rotation, pinning in and up to keep the arm just slightly down. Most of my weight is on the edge of the table. So my shin is pressing into the table, and then I'm using just a slight bit of pressure on top of her forearm to keep that there. Stay less or more.
Okay.
Okay. Good. We're going to go on the outside, press, grip the outside of the tendon, rotate out and up, and then give more space for the forearm to go inferiorly. And just make sure you're checking in with the with D, see if there's any shifts that we need to make. How are we doing over there? And then let's start to give more focus just on the top arm. Let's work our way up. Find the dip. Palm edge. Hugs dip. Take it down. Take it slightly out. Stay less more.
Okay.
Okay. How are we doing on Elliot's side? Stay
Good.
less or more.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to make my way up here. I'm going to get on the inside of her armpit. Hook, grab, shoulder. This is all four fingers up. Pull it down. Top arm. Hugs right on top and down. Stay less, more.
More.
Stay less and more.
Okay.
Other side. Stay less or
Okay.
more. Now I don't know why I put this table so low for both of us. Nice deep breathing. We're going to teach her how to breathe good. And then for a finale for elbow issues is we probably want to get into everybody's favorite area here. So we could be nice. We could see what her might start here. Palm resting. She has good mobility. Somebody might be up here and that's it. We want to work with that. We would get bolsters or we could use her forearm, right? But then we want to pillow her something for her arm to rest. But since she has that mobility, we'll go with it. Look how her elbow and my elbow, they fit. I'm going to use that. And then I can leverage it to go up or down or as I need. I'm going to work with broad tissues. How does this feel?
Good.
Good. A lot of people, when you move their arms around and their shoulders, this area is so tight, they're going to start getting numb after a few minutes. Have them move around, go back into it, or maybe change the angle as needed. All right. So we worked all here. Now she's all happy, hopefully. How are you doing, Dee?
Good.
Good. You feeling happy?
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. So now that we lured her in, she's all happy. We're going to go for the underarm. I'm going to go really in there. I usually warn clients, hey, this is going to be annoying.
Okay.
That shouldn't be painful, but moderately annoying, but tolerable. If you do feel any sharp shooting, stabbing, numbing, let me know immediately. I'm really digging in, and I'm angled in. Feel the little dip. And then I'm going to let her arm rest. And she does not like this. I can feel that apprehension with her arm. So I'm going to check in with her and make sure that this is okay.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
How does that feel?
Good.
And there's a lot of work we could do around the arm. You can really get into that subscap. Start introducing around the lats. I feel that. How's that feeling?
Good.
Good. And she's got nice open scapula too. Most people, their scapulas kind of hide, don't they? Okay. Stay less or more.
More.
And I really do feel a lot of resistance here. Are you trying to help or is this feeling
Probably
uncomfortable?
subconsciously, yes.
Okay. Anything feeling uncomfortable?
No.
Okay. So another thing is nails. You want to make sure that the client isn't feeling your nails. Do you feel any
Yeah.
scratchy? Okay. And this I should definitely be written up for because you can see my nails. Shouldn't see my nails. This is absolutely horrendous and shame on me. Just write me up. I'm kidding. But make sure that you cut your nails and don't do as I do because this could get scratchy. But Dee's going to tell me if I do get scratchy, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
You got a long way to go.
Okay, good. And here now I'm relying more on my knuckles so that I'm not scratching her as much, where I could use more of a nice stacked finger to go in there. Give that a try, Elliot. No, that's everybody's favorite. Move around a little bit. Pull that out. Good. That's actually,
That's
yeah,
for
that's
this
a good
one.
call.
Seemed a little. You heard that? We got consent. Right
Yeah.
into subscam going through.
Yeah, just go for it. All right. No shared armpits, so I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol before I come visit y'all. All right. And if there was a lot of perfume
No,
or
you're
body
good.
odor,
Mhm.
this is a great time. Spray it on a little towel so that I can get more traction not because he's stinky. I'm gonna angle.
I couldn't
Alright.
tell. Were you going into the pack area?
Little walking.
Yes.
And I can even hold up here, traction. Bottom arm that's around his armpit, holding onto the subscap, is pressing up and down on the subscap area. And if I want to add a little bit more fun, top arm tractioning shoulder out and down. How's that feeling?
That feels good.
Stay less or more.
A tiny bit more. Right there.
Tiny
Tiny bit more. Right there. Right now, my whole body is like, defend yourself.
And another thing I could do here, especially if I'm going to stay for a while, and especially with the larger client, forearm. And look, now, especially since his arm is right here, I can hold this. I can use this as a lever. And now I can go up. I can go out.
That feels much better.
This feels much better?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more space. I'm doing a little more work with my bottom arm, kind of squeezing in and crossing. But I can really hold, and now I'm shifting with my weight. And I can move him like a rag doll with not much effort at all.
I feel more like a.
So that this hand is creating a little bit of traction, and you're pulling her. And then go give that a shot on Lucas just to see the different bodies. Push out. And then
Are you going out with your fingers? I usually go on my knuckle. Okay.
You could. That would be a more broad approach. That you absolutely could. We're not going to get as much maneuver though, because here I'm kind of thinking about going further up. And I'm kind of scooping slightly up. I'm keeping my hand still as I do this in here. But I'm velcroed and I'm thinking about moving this out. So the blade of my pointer finger is kind of leading this out a bit.
How does that feel?
Good.
Is that an alright feeling?
You can.
Stay less or more.
More. Good.
And release. All right. And then let's go ahead and just check in on her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and stop there.
Okay.
And sit up and just check in with your body.
Feel good.
Rub around your arm. Let me know. Does it feel better, worse, same?
Feels a little better. Yeah, it does.
Okay. What are you noticing? Does it feel like it's catching somewhere, or?
It feels like it's gotten, like before it would be more like a strip, and now it feels like it's shrinking. So it's more like a little more concentrated. Like
Okay.
kind of.
Okay. I see you're pointing a lot like around your
It
elbow.
does. It hurts, and I don't know if that's like weird. It's almost like it's under the elbow.
That would be a great one to do with her. Yeah. Okay. Well, for time today, we could definitely, now that we've said hello to issue 1 and issue 2, we have 4 more sessions with you. We can solidify if we need to split that time or maybe prioritize that time to a specific issue and go from there.
Sounds good.
Homework if you can.
Do more
Just
open.
lay on the ground. If you can roll a towel up, something small, place it right here.
Okay.
Right, that top area.
Like tennis ball?
I would do like a towel. So let me show
Oh,
you
okay.
about
Okay, so it's small. I gotcha. Okay.
fold it in half, roll it up
Mhm.
about this size. A towel is
Okay.
going to be softer and it's going to give a very subtle
Right.
opening here. But I'm thinking we open up here and we give this some slack.
Yep.
That's going to take some slack off of there too.
Okay.
And also, just for general self-care,
More
help to
Okay.
give an opposite to your usual day's activities when you're
Okay.
at work.
Sounds good.
All right, awesome.